From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, many of us are feeling the impacts of the upcoming storm here that's been coming in from the Pacific Ocean, but it depends on where you are. I mean, you look at Crescent City and you say, what storm are you talking about? All you see are the clouds out there. And at Crescent City, you will see some showers over the next few days. It's just not going to be a lot. You have to head to the south of Crescent City, Eureka, even south of Eureka into southern Humboldt County, better chances for rain there. And of course, for the valley, eventually seeing some of that rain as well. In fact, we're seeing some of it this morning. This is what it looks like this morning out in Lake Oroville. A little earlier, you could kind of see some of the raindrops coming down. You can see some of the raindrops on the lens there as well. So nothing heavy to start the day off, but it will get heavier as we take you through, especially this afternoon and into the evening. Of course, some of the higher elevations, we take a look at Lassen Park. This is out at the south entrance center here, the visitor center, and of course a lot of the low clouds, and looks like a kind of a little misty out there as well. But off and on showers will continue through Saturday. Again, some much more rain than others, which we'll take a look at that here in a second. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, so this will have an impact on some, but not all of your mountain travel. You have to go up above mainly 4,000 feet before you really start running into the potential for chain requirements. Mainly dry for your Easter Sunday, but there still is that off chance for a stray sprinkle or a light shower for some of us, but not all of us, right? We'll take a closer look at that a little bit later too. But drier and warmer for early next week. I think some of us may even be flirting with that 80-degree mark for some of us in the valley, but of course not necessarily the case today. It's a cool one. Temperatures only in the mid-50s here for the valley, upper 50s maybe along parts of the coast. Otherwise, pretty cool in the mountains with temperatures there only in the mid to even some upper 40s. Rain will be heavy at times. Now again, when we look at futurecasts, you will see that there are some areas that just really will not get a lot of rainfall out of this system. So you can clearly see this is the storm system that's been developing. It's been getting stronger. We're clearly seeing that comma shape here. And it's really going to begin to kind of wrap up on itself here as that colder air kind of wraps in behind it. Now, the colder air associated with this really won't have a very big impact on us, as the main cold front itself in the storm will kind of move through central and southern California and really kind of ride down to the coast here. But the main impact here will be that flow around that area of low pressure, and that's what's going to bring us that rainfall. So it depends on where you are within that flow from that area of low pressure will depend on how much rain you get. All right, so first of all, we take a look at the severe outlook for today coming out of the Storm Prediction Center, not indicating any thunderstorms that we'll see over Northern California. Now, again, one of the things you have to take a look at when you see this does not mean doomsday for everybody. Number one, this is the lowest category of the severe outlook. It's not until you get into the marginal and slight that you have to start going, okay, we have something a little bit more serious here. What this is essentially saying here is that most, if not all of Northern California has the potential to see a stray thunderstorm here. But more likely than not, you'll be looking at those dry conditions here. Not dry conditions, but more likely than not, you'll be looking at just some showers, right? Not necessarily looking at much in the way of thunderstorm activity here. So we take you through the afternoon today. We're going to start off at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And again, it's that flow around that area of low pressure, finally making its way into the valley. So the valley through the rest of the morning and even in the early afternoon hours, we'll start to see that rain and begin to kind of push northward. So we'll begin to see it get a little bit heavier as we go into the afternoon and evening. In the meantime, you look over southern Humboldt County, also seeing some of that heavier rainfall there. But look at northern Humboldt, look at Delnor County. We're really not seeing a ton of rainfall. Even fairly dry conditions for the most part in Siskiyou County with some showers off to the east and even some snow. And keep in mind, snow levels will be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. We take you to about 6 o'clock this afternoon and evening. We're still seeing that nice push of moisture. So there will be periods of moderate to even heavy rainfall, but I do not anticipate any thunderstorms at this point here. But again, you'll notice central and southern Humboldt County seeing the bulk of the rain there. A few showers out towards Delnor County. And again, not much activity up to the north with more snow off to the east. Now we'll take you into your Friday night, tonight at about 10 p.m. We're still seeing, especially the north end of the valley, some of these showers here, this last little push of moisture from this flow right here. But we do have some more showers down to the south. More showers in central portions of Humboldt County, and even some snow flurries off into Lassen County. But really not much as you head north, just a few snow flurries and scattered showers. The area of low pressure continues to push down to the south and ride down the coast. As it does that, we're seeing that flow kind of move more from the east to the west here on the north side of the flow of that area of low pressure. So the low pressure rotates like this. All right, so it's kind of doing a little something like this. So we're on the north end of that, and that's where it is. So when we start off Saturday morning, I mean, it's not going to be a lot of rainfall out there, right? We're looking at just a few scattered showers. Now, we go into the morning and around the noon hour, still fairly inactive here, right? We're not seeing a lot of activity, but what we're starting to see happen is, especially with the breaks in the clouds, this will allow for some daytime heating. So as we go through the afternoon on Saturday, now we're starting to see that potential for showers and even thunderstorms developing through the afternoon on Saturday. Look at some of that heavy snow we could see off into Plumas County and into the mountains just east of the valley. This is where we could start to see some pretty good potential for some chain requirements here as we go into your Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Let's take you into Saturday night. Now the rain is beginning to push to the south. The area of low pressure is pretty much moving on out of here, but we're beginning to see another area of low pressure develop just off to our east. The flow around that is going to bring us a few clouds on Sunday, but overall, I'm expecting mainly dry conditions. But here's one of the things I do want to mention. I've been watching the forecast models all week long, even since last week. And both the European and both the American forecast model have still, and even now, the latest forecast models there are indicating that places like Modoc County, Lassen County, Plumas County, and the Valley could see an off chance for a stray shower Sunday afternoon. I'm thinking especially central and western Siskiyou County, Trinity County, Del Norte and Humboldt counties will be dry all day on Sunday. And for the most part, everyone will be dry. But I can't rule out at least a slight chance for a stray sprinkle or a light shower. Now, the reason I mention this is because I don't want you to get surprised if you're out and about and suddenly you run into just a light sprinkle or a light shower, especially in the valley eastward, because it could happen. But it just won't be much and it won't dampen any of your outdoor plans. Now, when we look at the forecast rain totals, again, this will all depend on where you are, but I think we could see about a half of an inch, give or take, for the valley once all is said and done, especially through Saturday night. But you'll notice here the footprint, we're not seeing as much rain to the north, especially out in Crescent City, only a few hundreds. So this is not going to be a big impact for Del Norte County, as we're already still seeing this morning mainly clear skies. But you head to the south, yeah, in southern Humboldt County, now you're seeing a better chance for some decent rainfall out there. So again, it just depends on where you are. Now, when it comes to snow, with snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, it's mainly going to be 4,000 feet or higher where you start seeing any type of significant snow. I think it might be overdoing it a bit for Mount Shasta City, but we could see an inch or two light dusting. I think we might see a bit of a mix for Shingletown and Bernie, not to mention Fall River Mills, getting close, right? And just not seeing much in the way of precipitation in general for Alturas. So the model's not even really picking up anything for Alturas. But that being said, Alturas, you could see maybe a light dusting. Now, where we most likely will see most of the snow will be off to the east. You saw that, especially going into Saturday night, kind of a big rush of some colder and not to mention heavier precipitation in the form of snow most likely. So Chester, I think you might be on the lower end of that, but you could pick up a few inches of snow, and not to mention heading south into places like Quincy and not to mention Portola. All right, so let's take a look at the road conditions. A lot of green on this map indicating that we're just not going to see a lot of chain requirements out there through the day today. But going into tonight, what we start to see happen is it cools off and we start to see more snow in some of those lower levels. So we probably will be looking at by tomorrow morning several chain requirements east of I-5. That will probably even include places like Cedar Pass, maybe on Highway 299, like probably Highway 44, 89, 36, right? You get the idea. It's not going to be terrible out there, but it may be just enough for it to create some hazardous conditions here when it comes to snow on those mountain highways. 299 West, I don't anticipate any snow problems. Maybe a mix out towards Buckhorn Summit, but that will probably be the extent of it. All right, so here's the overall setup. Here's the pattern. This low pressure system, it's diving down to the south. So still on Saturday, again, remember I was talking about we're on the north side of that area of low pressure. So that flow going around that area of low pressure, we're on the north side of that. As we go into Sunday that is, we see another area of low pressure develop just to the east of us, really kind of into Nevada. The flow around that could bring, as I mentioned, I think this model is overdoing it on just how intense this looks, but I do anticipate, as I mentioned, valley eastward, a chance for the potential for a stray sprinkle or a light shower and maybe even a light flurry for some of the higher elevations. Not enough to really create any major problems with travel or any outdoor plans that you may have. Just note, as I mentioned, you may run into that stray sprinkle. Then, by Monday, Tuesday, that high pressure builds in, much warmer going into Monday, Tuesday. This is when I think the valley could possibly even touch that 80-degree mark. But it's not here forever. We got another colder storm system that most likely will be here by the middle and latter part of next week. Not only dropping our temperatures, but yeah, we're talking about a chance for some more rain. And quite honestly, some fairly low elevation snow. I'm expecting that by Thursday or Friday of next week, we could be talking about snow levels down to as low as 2,000 feet. So things could get a little bit more interesting around here toward the end of next week. So here's what it looks like today. Of course, you've got the showers in the forecast, temperatures in the mid-50s for the valley, low to mid-40s for the higher elevations. We got upper 50s to around 60 for the coast and the inland areas. We take a look at your 7-day outlook, region by region, and we're going to start off with the valley. There's that chance for showers. We can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm on Saturday. Otherwise, there will be some breaks in the clouds, and you will see showers throughout the day. Take you into Sunday, mainly dry. Don't worry about rain. Don't worry about that being a problem at all. But don't be surprised if you run into a stray sprinkle. Then we go into Monday, absolutely gorgeous, even more gorgeous on Tuesday. But yes, temperatures starting to drop again, and that chance for showers are in the forecast as well. Here's your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, inland, and for Trinity County. You got those temperatures increasing a bit back to the low 60s by Monday, Tuesday. Now, as I mentioned, I'm expecting dry conditions. We won't see sprinkles or light showers on Sunday at all for the coast, inland, or for Trinity County. But of course, it warms up for early next week. Mount Shasta, I think you'll be dry. Maybe eastern Siskiyou County could see a chance for a stray sprinkle, such as Alturas and Modoc County, and not to mention Susanville on Sunday as well. And then there you can see the drier and warmer conditions here for Monday and Tuesday of next week. And then, yes, a chance for more showers and cooler by next Wednesday, and especially next Thursday.